In this video, I'm going to be talking about anime that I've dropped. So which anime have I dropped and why? The first anime I'd like to talk about is Happy Sugar Life, or as I like to call it, Crappy Sugar Life. I watched 2 episodes of this before deciding to stop. Now you may be wondering why I decided to watch something that would look like it would get me in trouble with the police. With this show it was mainly because it was on Prime suggested, but I don't know how Prime jumped from me watching Initial D to liking effortless and cheap psychological horror. In the show, there's zero build-up to the shocking actions of the main character. In the very first episode, she kills someone. The whole selling point of the show is that you think it's going to be cute, but it's scary because it's actually a murderer. The reason why this idea works in things like Doki Doki Literature Club is because there's a slow build-up and they don't outright just show a boring murder. The disturbing moments are more subtle and are presented in a more interesting way and gradually worked in to build a sense of dread. But you show me an anime with boring direction and a boring art style, where within the first episode the cute character kills someone. I'm not gonna care. Even within the first episode, the murder has no tension and is directed in the most plain and bland way ever. There's also the thing of why would you care about a murder if it's only the first episode? But there are anime that can make you care and feel tension for characters within one episode. Happy Sugar Life is just something that you would think a child wrote. It's not scary, it's not entertaining, and the weird child relationship was just really cringe and uncomfortable. So I dropped Happy Sugar Life because it's a worthless waste of time anime. It's completely cold and soulless. For the next anime I'm going to talk about, I'm going to group 2 together. Orange and A Lull in the Sea. These are both romance anime that are supposed to make you cry. The sad Anohana angel beats genre. The thing is, I've seen so many, and with the amount of those anime I've watched, I just didn't see anything new or of value in Orange or A Lull in the Sea. Shows like Angel Beats and Anohana are some of my favourite anime, but I'm getting sick of seeing the same things over and over again. Obviously, there are surface level differences, but overall it's still the same nothing characters. Characters in this genre of anime are always boring and not interesting at all. And especially with these 2 anime, I was feeling the shows really start to drag, because I didn't give a shit about anything that was happening. It's the annoying things of anime misunderstandings just feeling like they're wasting my time, and holding back plot progression and character growth for no reason. It's just so frustrating. I will say though, A Lull in the Sea had beautiful animation and music, but beyond that I wasn't interested. If I had to say which of these was better, it was definitely A Lull in the Sea. The next anime is Shimonetta. I watched 3 episodes of this and it was decently entertaining. It's loud, fast, and was easy to watch. It's not comedic genius or anything, the jokes are like, cock! Which is pretty respectable actually. So the reason I dropped it was because episode 4 just wouldn't load when I tried to watch it. So I just left it and never came back, and I don't think I ever will. I just don't feel excited when I think about watching it. It was good, but I just can't be arsed. The next anime is called Spriggan. It's a Netflix anime adapting a 90s manga. The manga and animes are relatively obscure and not particularly well received. What drew me in with this new series was the action scenes. The animation is really great, and the fights are directed in a really exciting way that capitalizes on the anime's ability to create shots and movements of the camera that just can't be captured in real life. The action scenes are insanely cool, but each episode is like 40 minutes long. And the majority of the episode is boring talking among government people and stuff like that. I hate those kind of things in media, and it's usually in the older things like Spriggan. Spriggan's story isn't really interesting and it feels outdated, but I like some of the aesthetic and I love the action scenes. But a lot of it was too boring for me to bother watching all of it. I think for a lot of people, the stuff I find boring would be fine, so I do really recommend Spriggan. The next anime is Lunar Legend Tsukaime. I watched this because I found a really cool anime box set. They were sold in a bookshop called The Works in the UK, and they basically have a bunch of DVDs with the first 2 episodes of anime on it. To give people an idea of what the anime is like and hopefully make people buy the full series. I'm pretty sure I wasn't born or was a baby when these were around, and they're not really documented very well. So I think it's just really cool. And the box art is really old and amateur looking. I just think it's really cool and unique. I was planning to make a video on the anime included on it. One of those anime was Lunar Legend Tsukaime. I watched the first episode of it. It was really interesting and it had the 2000s anime aesthetic that I really love, but it didn't seem like anything amazing, so I just didn't bother watching anymore. Tsukaime is boring. If you wanted to know why I wanted to watch it, here's why. It just looked unique and cool. However, Tsukaime is boring. This is because the show is really slow. Like, unbelievably slow, and its extremely quiet dialogue and music is sparse, which makes it boring. The show's sound, mostly being sound effects like wind or bugs, does give it a kind of mysterious aura. And that is intriguing, but when it's combined with sparse movement and a lot of really still shots, it drags a bit. There were a lot of really cool shots, but I just felt like it was too slow and I was wasting my time. And last of all, we're going to talk about Eden Zero. I watched 17 episodes of this before dropping it. You may feel like this video has been repetitive because I've essentially dropped all these anime for the same reason. It feels like a waste of time. I used to have the mentality of having to finish an anime, but you don't have to. It really is just a waste of your life if you're not enjoying it. With Eden Zero, I have a lot of nostalgia for Fairy Tail, so I thought I might enjoy it. And to some extent, I did. Some character elements were smart, and Shiki is likeable, but it's just a plain direction and boring character interaction that left me feeling bored after a while. Making this video and reflecting on the anime I've watched, I've realised that I'm getting more and more tired of anime, with literally the same thing being made over and over with the most generic and boring characters. And the way they interact feeling so forced and shit. There are so many anime characters that just aren't even characters, just a bunch of empty shells that blend together with almost identical designs. This cheap and overproduced side of anime really bothers me. The thing is with anime is that a very large amount of it is fucking shit. But when there's a good anime, it's better than any other media and it is truly beautiful and moving. And that's why I watch anime. Because it has the potential to be better than anything else.